Going out?
No thanks. I'm on my way home, but thanks anyway.
Welcome to Grindhouse Funhouse 31 Days of Horror. Tonight's spooky pick, Frankenhooker. First off, I want to shout out my good buddy Bill Murray for recommending me this last horror comedy I added to my 31 Days of Horror challenge. Bill was editing one of my favorite movies of his, Quick Change, which he also directed at the same time that Frank Henenlotter was editing Frankenhooker. Bill saw it, loved it, and they got a quote out of him and they made it clearly visible right under the title on the poster. All this to say, you're the best, Bill. Keep up the good work. It opens up with a dude in his mom's kitchen talking to a one-eyed brain in a jar. Right away, you know what you're in for. Jeffrey is that dude who works at a power plant and he's a medical student dropout who specializes in bioelectricity. He loses his girlfriend Elizabeth at her father's birthday party when his gift of a remote-control lawnmower shreds her to pieces.
Just press this.
You're on UHF. Don't stand in front of it!
We've all heard a story like this. The first 30 minutes of the movie is him trying to figure out how to bring her back to life. And I'll be honest, I was zoning in and out during that part of the movie, but there were still a few odd and funny things happening, like the lady TV reporter on the scene letting us know what happened.
In a blaze of blood, bones, and body parts, the vivacious young girl was instantly reduced to a tossed human salad, a salad that police are still trying to gather up, a salad that was once named Elizabeth.
If ever I die in a freak accident, I want that reporter letting the world know how it went down, or how he sets up a dinner date with her body parts.
Here's to you, to us, to new beginnings. Cleanse the palate now.
Or to calm himself down, drills a hole in his skull.
That's it! Okay!
All normal, everyday things to do. But I still wasn't that engaged. It got to be tedious watching Jeffrey talking to himself. It started to turn when he got to the city trying to find prostitutes he can use fresh body parts from. Think Frankenstein meets Weird Science meets Reanimator to build a new Elizabeth.
Going out? Want a date? Some action? Need some company? You lonely?
You look great.
The deal is set up with their pimp Zorro. Before he meets up with his fresh bags of woman meat, he creates a new strain of crack, super crack he calls it, that in his word,
This super crack will get the job done a lot quicker. And without any pain. Of course, it may get a bit hot.
a few nights later, he's got all those hookers in a hotel room. He inspects them, trying to find out the best parts to use to build up Elizabeth 2.0. Towards the end of doing that, he's getting second thoughts, but the hookers find his bag of super crack, smokes it all. They all go wild, boobs everywhere, so many boobs. And that's when Frankenhooker does a 180 for the better and becoming next level insanity. The super crack makes them all blow up real good. I am in love with the practical effects used to create this chaotic mess of limbs everywhere. Jeffrey takes those body parts back home, chooses the best ones, assembles Elizabeth 2.0, raises her up to the sky during a lightning storm, she comes back to life, and Patty Mullen, where have you been all my life, because she is just fabulous.
Want a date? Going out? Looking for some action?
The faces she makes, her mannerisms, her tics, the way she talks, it's a glorious performance. She knocks Jeffrey unconscious, goes to the city in Times Square where the action is, meets a few people along the way, finds a very enthusiastic customer.
Have you found your perfect woman yet?
Oh, yes! God, yes! Yes! Take me, yes!
Brings him back to the hotel where all the hookers blew up. The byproduct of her being brought back to life through electricity is that when she fucks someone, he will blow up.
Oh, that was wonderful.
And that's exactly what happens to that poor fella. So then she goes back to the bar where Jeffrey first made the deal with the pimp, and he's there lamenting the loss of his girls.
No. They didn't leave. They didn't go nowhere. They just blew up.
Blew up?
Fucking exploded. 1 minute they're my bitches, the next they're pieces all over.
The way he says that line made me straight up laugh out loud for a good minute after. The guy that was talking with the pimp at the bar spots Elizabeth 2.0, hits on her, goes down on her. He explodes, of course. Zorro the pimp wants to know how she knows about Jeffrey and his deal with him. He freaks out and punches her head, and that image of her head just barely hanging on is nightmare-fueled. Jeffrey finds her at the bar, brings her back home, and I want to let you discover how it's just about the best ending can have happened here. It's definitely a love it or hate it movie. That line is clearly drawn. Like I said at first, I wasn't too sure about it, but then bitches be blowing up. And that's when you had me right then and there, Frank Henenlotter. Patty Mullen playing Elizabeth. Again, she's fabulous in the role. How has she done only 2 movies in her lifetime? And both were made more than 30 years ago. Maybe she thought she couldn't do any better than Frankenhooker, and really, I can't blame her for thinking that. It's absurd, grotesque horror at its funniest. Don't get me wrong, it is trash, but it is superior trash that is well thought out, and that ending alone deserves a chef's kiss. Links to streaming or purchasing Frankenhooker are available in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on Frankenhooker and come back tomorrow for another 31 Days of Horror Spooky Pick.